Welcome back, guys. Sorry for being out past week. It's Noah Baskin and Luca Kassab. Welcome back to Fresh on Clips. Let's get right to it. We also have a special guest here.
Hi, my name is Chris Rodriquez. I am a huge CP3 fan. I was a fan of him when he was on the Clippers, and now that he was traded to the Suns, I'm a huge Suns fan now.
On the note of the Suns, they beat our Clippers yesterday, 111-95. Chris, what are your thoughts on that?
I feel like the Suns didn't play their best basketball. I feel like they came into the game knowing that Kawhi and PG weren't playing, so I feel like they knew it was going to be an easy game, and like it just looked like we chucked a lot of shots up that like we wouldn't shoot against like other good teams or like teams with like their star players. But I feel like the effort from the Clippers was there. They were hustling, and I feel like we just beat them off like pure like experience and like skill because like the Clippers didn't have their best players and stuff.
To talk about the effort, I feel like the effort was not there for the Clippers in the first half. We had 38 points at half, and we just didn't look like we wanted to play.
Yeah. Well, I think it was based off like just like the experience because like the Clippers were playing like they're like not to be like mean but like their worst guys, you know.
Yeah,
I feel
Preston, Diabate.
also like I saw him like when he was calling timeouts and stuff. He was just like trying to motivate the players. Like he knew they weren't gonna win the game. He was just trying to like get their confidence up. I saw like Brandon Boston Jr. and like what's his name Preston. They
Yeah,
made like a
Jason
lot of
Preston.
silly turnovers like in the beginning of the game that they were just like nervous, you know.
Yeah, agreed.
Luca,
No, what do
you know
you
what?
have?
Luca, I disagree with you. I totally disagree. I think the effort was there. I don't think
Yeah.
I think they were trying. I don't think they weren't giving effort. I mean, how many minutes in the NBA did our bench players play together before last night? Probably a solid 20 minutes, like I don't think you can be giving them that hard of a time. Like, come on, Luca, you gotta calm the fuck down,
Yeah,
man.
I do feel like the effort was there, but it's just skill. There's a major skill gap and like experience gap.
I feel though the thing with the effort part, I feel just a matter of yes, as you said, it was the skill gap, but also I feel our young guys were nervous. Preston had some stupid plays where he should have shot it but passed it up. Musa had a stupid foul right as he checked in and wasn't hustling the way we've seen him. And Moses Brown even. He was giving up in that first half, second and third shot attempts. We let Jock Landale put up 15 and 10. Imagine what Aiden would have done yesterday if he played. That was
Yeah,
a big part.
but imagine what Aiton would have done against our starting center, Zubac. We didn't have him. We didn't have our whole starting lineup and our whole bench. We were gone our like 7 or 8 best guys due to injury and like maybe a couple due to rest. So I think it's completely unfair to judge the Clippers about last night's game, Luca. You sound pretty biased. I got to go with Chris on this one. I think the Suns put up a good effort, but they purely won based off of skill and like their veteran players.
I feel like some of the veterans from the Clippers were also trying hard. Like you saw Wall that chase down block. He wasn't giving up on that play. He was giving full effort. Batum was hitting shots. So I feel like it wasn't really anything the Clippers could do. It's just like the Suns had the advantage going into the game.
I agree with that. I just feel that to me, it was Marcus Morris. He just didn't look like he wanted to be out there at points. I love Marcus, but he just didn't look like he wanted to play and he wasn't hitting shots. He was not contributing to the team. I know Team Man.
Is this a Lakers podcast, Luca? This is ridiculous.
How are we talking about the Lakers? Don't tell me
No.
about anything about the Lakers.
You sound like a Laker fan right now, hating on the Clippers when clearly we were missing our top 7 guys. Like, let's be honest. Like, the Clippers have had they've won crazy games in the past against like the best team, the Warriors, like 5 years ago. Trust me, I had a feeling we could win this one, but deep down I knew we had zero chance. Let's just be honest. Chris Paul and Devin Booker, we're not going to let Jason Preston and I don't even know who else was playing beat them. Jason Preston and Diabate. Like, come on, Luca, you're being a bit silly here.
Yeah, no,
like, you're being the biggest hater.
I told you before the game, Luca. I feel like the Suns like came even into this game mad because like after losing 2 straight to the Pelicans, they were not going to lose to like an injured or like a starless Clippers team. They were just going to give like everything they have.
I understand. I just feel the first half we played terribly. And that is what I'm blaming on Morris. I'm blaming it on our vets because they didn't come out strong. Yes, I didn't expect us to win this game, but we should not have been down 27 points at halftime. Booker didn't even play well. CP almost had a triple-double. Yes, he played well. Bridges had 27 efficiently. He played well. But we held their best player to 14 points. He had 8 in the first quarter, 14 in the rest of the game, 14 points total. I feel in a game where Booker doesn't play well, we need to keep it close and fight, which in the first half, having 37 points shows we were not fighting. We weren't trying to get every board, and we were giving up 2 to 3 shots every possession, plus 12 turnovers in the first half. Just felt some of the things we did just felt avoidable. And this isn't me being against the Suns. The Suns did their thing. And yes, I don't think Booker and CP were playing their hardest, but we should have stayed close in this game with how poorly Booker played, because we know how good he's been. He showed us that in the 2020 playoffs, how good of a player he is. And we know Chris Paul. He's been a Clipper. He's been one of our guys. We should not have been in a game where they didn't put full effort this far away.
But I feel like the reason why the Suns are good is that they could have a game where Booker's not playing well and still, beat a team, especially a starless team. So I don't know if saying Booker not playing well is an excuse for the Clippers not to be down as much. But I do feel like that we didn't play our very, very hardest. But I definitely think the Clippers did try their hardest, what was it? Terrence Mann. I think he was playing really good.
T-Man had 22, but he
was balling. I feel like he was the only guy really clicking for them.
Agreed. I feel he was the only guy hitting shots, but I also feel
no. And I remember it was a couple defensive possessions back to back where the
Clippers, but that was in the second half.
24-second. No, or I don't know, but they forced 24-second violations, and that's
they got it
pretty rare to see in the NBA. You don't really see that much, so you could see the gap between them. It was vets and new guys playing, and the new guys didn't really know what to do, especially that the at one point the Suns threw a 2-3 defense on them, and they they forced a lot of bad shots and 24-second violations.
Mr. Clipper hater, you see this number right here? That's 83 for those of you who can't see, it's flipped. That is the number of all the points that our team averages of the players that are out. So that's 83 points that we would have from our 7 players that were out, 83 points. You expect our G League players who average 2.8 points, 3.9 points, 4.4 points to come up with 83 points? How does that make sense to you? Please.
That's not what I'm trying to say.
We've looked good the past
what I'm trying to say right here.
You guys had your whole starters out.
Yeah, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of it.
I agree. But what I'm trying to say is 37 points at halftime is not acceptable.
What do you expect
Terrence
from
Mann having half our points? Okay, we have Marcus Morris. We have John Wall. We have Nick Batum. We have Robert Covington. We have Amir Coffey. All veterans. And guess
you
what?
wanted one of them to become prime LeBron and carry us
37 points in 24 minutes. Do the math. That's barely above.
Look at the averages of the players that are playing compared to what normally is with our whole healthy team. Look at those. Compare those, please, because it's right here and right here. Okay, Suns, Clippers,
Luca.
players, all the way down there. Okay. Yep.
I understand. In the first half, we played terribly. Second half, we picked it up, but I don't think 37 points.
No, I think John Wall was the difference maker in the second half. John Wall, who is one of the veterans that played. I think he really had a difference in the game when we did make our little run and we were only down 19 to one of the teams that was in the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago, to which we were with a G League team pretty much. I think John Wall really changed the pace. I think he was being aggressive. Like Chris mentioned earlier, he even had a chase down block. Yeah. John Wall's old compared to most of the guys that were playing for the Clippers. And he really showed he can still lead a team with his past couple hard years for him. I just want to shout out John Wall real quick for this year. It's just.
And Luca, it's not just that you guys were missing guys. You guys were also playing the number 2 best team in the West. They went to the finals last year. You also got to keep that in mind, where it's not just you guys are missing. You guys are also playing against the best of the best.
Yeah.
So it's not
I agree.
37
Yeah, yeah.
points. Like, okay, like look at like who you guys are playing. Like the Suns are amazing, offense and defense.
Yeah, like I
Agreed.
hate the Suns. Don't get me wrong. I despise the Suns. I don't like any of their players, especially Devin Booker. Like, why doesn't he go credit Kendall Jenner? Okay. And DeAndre Ayton and whatever, who else? Mikal Bridges, whatever. He needs to calm down. He was like doing his 3-point dance in a G Leaguer's face. Like, calm down, bro. Good job. Okay. I just we got to give the Suns credit though. They are a good team. And no matter how much I hate them, the Clippers were playing, like Chris said, one of the best teams in the NBA. And, I think they put in most of the effort they could have given.
Yeah.
I do agree with the part that they are a top team in the West, but they were missing Aiden, they were missing Campaign, and they were missing Cam Johnson. 3 important dudes on that team. I just think, yes,
All right,
the
but
Suns
they're
are a
not
great
as
team.
important or nearly as important as Kawhi and PG.
No, I do agree with that.
I mean,
But
hold up, Kawhi, PG, Zubac, who else? Norman Powell,
Kennard,
Luka
Norm,
Kennard.
and
Jackson.
Reggie.
Like, bro, that does not even compare.
Agreed. All right,
All
let's switch it because we're not getting anywhere with this. Chris, this is for you mainly. CP is one of my favorite players. He probably is my favorite player of all time, and I know he's yours. No, I don't know about you, but because you're a hater. But why?
He's a
What?
guy, baby.
What about Chris Paul's game and just him as a person has idolized you the most, Chris?
Well, CP, first of all, CP is like a point guard, and that's what I am. He's also very undersized, which is basically me too. So I saw a lot of myself in him when I first started watching him play. So I was like, and I really fell in love with his passion, like how he never wants to lose, how he's just his not just basketball. You could just see that he wanted to win badly. You could see his toughness. He was very tough, and then yeah, I like him because of that. Because I saw a lot of myself in him, so I saw this is my idol. I want to be like this guy. So yeah, and then I started taking over him. I saw a lot of what he does. I try to copy that into put that into my game, his signature mid range pull ups. I try to do the same thing, or his pass fakes. I try to do that.
Yeah, agreed. Chris Paul is just a dude who
And he's from, and when I started to become a fan, he was from LA, and I'm from LA, so it made sense.
Chris Paul's an undersized guard. He's a pass first player, and he plays scrappy. He's a good guy to like. And no, I know you don't like him.
That's the word. That's the word.
No, don't.
No,
It's
I can
not
see
I
how you
don't.
can hate him though, because he manipulates the rules and in his
Yeah,
way.
it's not that I don't like him. Like, obviously what he did, he's one of the players that made me fall in love with watching. And when I was younger playing basketball, I grew up. The reason I'm a Clippers fan is because of Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan and Jamal Crawford, the Lob City days. But I was even at a game where Chris Paul had a game winner when he was pretty much had one leg. He tore his hamstring or whatever. He was literally playing on one leg. He hit a shot off one leg. That was one of the craziest moments ever. And I was there to witness it. Little 7-year-old me. Little did I know that would be one of the craziest shots ever. But just now, I still have respect for him, but it's kind of hard to respect him when, he, like Chris said, manipulates the rules. And he complains about everything when he really shouldn't. He was complaining to the refs yesterday when he was playing 36 minutes against somebody who's played 36 minutes their entire NBA career. So I don't know why he was doing that. That's just stuff kind of bothers me. So it's not that I don't like him. He just gets on my nerves a little bit, which I think he tries to do that. So
yeah, I think he is one of the most hated players. He gets on people's nerves, and that's the thing. He gets under your skin.
Yeah,
and that's what I love.
I talked to Luca where I said no one could get under Chris Paul's skin, but I feel like Jose Alvarado has done that this season.
Yeah,
he's got Chris Paul's skin. He's the Chris Paul of not Chris Paul. He's doing what Chris Paul does to him.
The little scrappy guard.
Yeah, he's a little scrappy guard.
just like Luca.
That's like Chris and I both.
Yeah,
Guys, scrappy guards.
On the note of Chris Paul, still, Chris, what do you say are his top 5 moments of his career?
Top 5 moments. Okay. Number 1, I feel like it has to be the game that Noah went to. I feel like that game-winning shot, it just meant so much. We took out the defending champs in the
In the
first
first round.
CP had a hamstring injury, came back, led the Clippers to a comeback, had the third quarter buzzer beater, as well as the game-winning shot against the
Game
defending.
7. If for anyone
So-
who doesn't know, that's the shot in the outro, the Chris Paul shot in the outro.
Yeah,
Yeah, make sure to check that out. Watch that when you're done watching this video. And just to mention real quick, sorry to do this, just like every YouTuber, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Sorry, I just had to get that out there.
All right, Chris. So we got the same number 1. Noah, you got the same number 1 as us, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What do you say number 2 is, Chris?
number 2 moments. I don't. Well, I like to say like maybe kind of like the 2007-2008 season where he came in second in MVPs. or
Should have
MVP
won the
voting.
MVP.
Yeah, I think they gave it to Kobe that year.
Yeah, Kobe won that year because he was robbed from Nash the 2 years before that.
Yeah. Well, that season was extremely well. CP, I watched like a lot of his film from back then. He was much more of an athletic guy. He was like because right now you see CP, he's like slow. He doesn't move fast. He has like he relies a lot on like ball handling skills. Like that pick and roll. I feel like CP back then he was more like of an explosive guy. He could like get to the rim, like on like in his Hornet days. He dunked on Dwight Howard, which was like one of the that was actually one of the most insane moments. So
That's when Chris Paul used to not have to rely to getting to his spots. And I agree.
Yeah.
That's what I had as number 2 too. Just that whole 2008 season. Noah?
yeah,
Yeah, I completely agree with you guys. Yeah, I just think, how old were we then? We were like 1 or 2,
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
I wish I got to watch that.
I just, I've seen articles before called the forgotten MVP. And I mean, like you guys said, he lost who was up there? Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard.
It was
Yeah.
that year Kobe won it, then CP
Dirk.
was second.
Yeah, but I mean, that year Kobe was averaging 27 points a game and Chris Paul was averaging 22. Chris Paul was shooting 50% from the field, 35% from 3, and 87% from the free throw line. That's almost 50, 40, 90. For those of you guys who don't know, that's like pretty hard to do. It's when you shoot
6
50
times in NBA history.
Yeah, 50% from the field, from like overall, 40% from 3, and 90% from the free throw line. And it's very rare to do. Think about all of the players and only 6 times. That's pretty hard. So he was almost in that category. And, it's just crazy. Yeah, I agree with you guys on that one for sure.
All right, Chris, what do you have as number 3?
Yeah.
This is where I think we may have different ones.
Number 3. I kind of have like it's not like one specific moment, but like I get beating the Clippers last year in Game 6. I feel like that was like very iconic. Beating his old team to get to the finals where no one thought that he could be in. I feel like that was a very big moment. Like after that Patrick Beverly shove, I feel like we like truly won. I felt like so good. I felt like as a CP3 fan, I just felt like even though he like pushed CP3, I felt like so good. They got under the Clippers' skin. We beat him. We beat him in every way, and we like really earned that final spot. It doesn't matter if Kawhi got injured, but we earned that final spot, and I just feel like that was a huge moment because no one really thought that CP3 was going to be there.
Yeah, I had the same one actually.
Suns team, which was at the bottom of the West to literally the top, and to go to the championship.
Yeah, as much as it hurts to say that, especially Game 6, how well he played in that game.
Yeah,
Plus, just beating the Clippers, as much as I hate to say it, seeing my favorite player beat the Clippers to reach his first ever NBA Finals, a place no one ever said he would be and people made fun of him for, that has to be something that's special in his heart and ours.
Yep.
Noah, did you have the same?
Yeah, just in general, that the when Chris Paul beat them in game 6, in that game, he played 35 minutes. He had 41 points, 8
Yep.
assists and 4 rebounds. I mean, 41 points at that age, he's not young. To beat his former team, who he's never been, he has, but he's never won a championship. But like, you could just tell he really wants it. Like you guys, like I'm not as big of a Chris Paul fan now, but I still really admire how he's like, he really wants to win. He's such a dog on the court. He never stops. I just, yeah, I agree. As hard as it was to see the Clippers lose, and how frustrating it was to see Chris Paul get under players' skins. Like you guys said, Patrick Beverly shoved them from behind. Patrick Beverly is notorious for that. I love Pat Bev. Don't worry. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I agree with you guys on that one too.
All right, so what do you have us for, Chris? Maybe this is where we get a different one.
For 4, yeah, we probably do, because I have like a little it's like another moment, but just going to Game 7 with the Rockets in what was that, 2020 in the bubble?
Oh yeah, in the bubble with the Thunder
Had
team.
literally zero. No one believed in us in making the playoffs, and no one just believed in our team. And CP3 like took these young guys and really developed them. And I feel like he is the reason for a lot of SGA's success right now. He was like a really good mentor to him. Lou Dort. I just feel like he literally changed that team into like and like put in their minds of like what they can become if they really lock in. And like I said, like no one expected him to be there. If they had beaten his old team, I had to go to number 3. But since like they lost in Game 7, it was like it was hardly fought. It went down to the wire, which is embarrassing for the Rockets. They had
James Harden
James
and Russ.
and Russ, like what the fuck, like two MVPs. So it was like CB3 literally took the Thunder on his wing and like really carried them to where they needed to be.
I actually have a different one for this one. I have his All-Star Game MVP. I think
it
was either 2013, I believe. And it's not even the fact that he won the MVP. It's just the fact that it's more of a highlight to how many times he's been an All-Star.
Yeah.
The fact he has the MVP special by itself, but more so than the MVP, I think it's all of the All-Star appearances. But I also the MVP in terms of All-Star appearances, I think it's the MVP. That's the big one, but not far behind is that 2019 season, as you mentioned, with the Thunder, where he was named an All-Star again. It was It was bubble season. He was named an All-Star again after everyone wrote him off.
Yeah.
Noah, what do you have for 4?
No, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. So I'm gonna have to go with Chris on this one. Sorry, Luca, disagreeing with you again. Because I mean you've been very off tonight. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. Yeah, I think, like Chris said, for those of you who don't know, Shea Gilgeous Alexander, I still can't say his name properly. He was a rookie on the Clippers, really young, promising talent. We traded him for Paul George and Kawhi, which I think was worth it at the end of the day. Anyways, SGA now in this year, he's having one of the best seasons. He's in the 50, 40, 90 club right now. It's hard to maintain it though. Anyways, like Chris said, I think Chris Paul was a great mentor to him, and I don't think he would be where he is today without Chris Paul. So it just shows Chris Paul, from every team he goes to, leaves an everlasting effect with young players. And against the Rockets in the bubble, the Rockets had James Harden, who at that time was top 5 in the league, I'd say, top 7
He
for
was.
sure. Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, who was not
top
in his
15
prime,
worst.
but yeah, he was still not. He's not Mr. Westbrook this year. Well, don't get mad at me, Westbrook. I'm sorry. Anyways, I agree with Chris on this one. I just think it was so impressive too. And to think about his age and how mentally exhausting the bubble was. We know from other players, including Paul George, he opened up about his depression in the bubble, and not just him, but multiple players. So I think Chris Paul fighting through the the struggles, mentally, whether he likes admit it or not, and pushing through and almost beating a team who they were fully out-rivaled against. I mean, I think that was pretty amazing.
That's my number 5 right there. But Chris, what do you have as number 5?
This one's might seem a little weird or like a little like I don't know, but just I don't know, I forget what year it was. I think it was maybe 2017, where we actually lost to the Jazz.
Oh, the Joe Johnson.
Yeah, but during that series, I just feel like really because we had Blake missing for
Blake
some
was
games.
hurt. Yeah, Blake got hurt in game 2.
Yeah, and then just that whole series, I remember watching that. I was like, wow, like this guy's literally leaving everything on the court. Like even though he lost, you could just see how much he wanted to win, and it was like really inspiring. I was like, wow, like Chris Paul like will literally do anything. And again, I don't know why we always face like the best teams ever in the first round. Like I like what is that? But like whatever round it is, he's gonna try his hardest, even though it's the first round. And he like never gave up at any point. Losing their second best player, it could be hard going up against like Gordon Hayward, he was in his prime then.
Don't forget, Joe Johnson looked like MJ out there.
Yeah. So I just feel like that whole series was my number 5 because he literally gave everything. That was like the hardest I've ever seen CP3 play.
Noah, what do you have for 5? Because
I'm gonna go with his rookie year. 2000. Sorry, what?
No, I said he won Rookie of the Year, right?
Yeah. His Rookie of the Year season, 2005, 2006. So I mean, I was pretty much just born, so were we. So obviously, I don't really remember watching that. But just from I've seen old clips, and once I became a fan of his, just seeing clips and going back and watching tape and realizing, oh wow, this guy was really good from the beginning. In his Rookie of the Year season, he averaged 16.1 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 7.8 assists. 5.1 rebounds for his height is, I mean, pretty good. I mean, for undersized guard, it just shows he hustles. Almost 8 assists. That's amazing too. And I think what we haven't mentioned, and for those of you who don't know, Chris Paul's assist to turnover ratio throughout his whole career. So that's passing the ball to somebody who makes a shot without getting a turnover, like again, and he's one of the best at that. So I think it just shows how good he is at playmaking and how he doesn't make stupid decisions. He's one of the best decision makers all time. I think he's 3rd all time in assist. I mean, that's pretty insane too. Anyways, I just think his Rookie of the Year, he came into the league and made a statement from the beginning. And I think that just really helped his career lift off. So I think that has to be in the top 5.
The fact that we can name this much stuff and there's still a ton more to talk about, it just shows how good of a career he's had.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning into this week's episode of Fresh on Clips.
Wait, no. No. Let me say something real quick. You know what, Luca? From all the stupid stuff you were saying earlier, like I can't take this anymore. Like I don't know if we can. Like I might just quit this podcast because like I don't know, man. Like you know what, guys? I'll see you guys next week. Have a great day.
Thanks, Chris, for being part of this pod. Really appreciate it. Link of his IGs in bio. Chris, you got any last words?
It was fun talking to you guys. A lot of smart basketball heads. You guys know what you guys are talking about. And I just like I like talking about basketball. So if you guys will have me again, I'll be happy to join you guys again. And it's been fun.
Happily. Thank you guys.
Bring it in. 5 seconds to go. Tie game. Seatbelts are fastened. Lou Williams for the win. Bingo!
Oh my goodness.
God, he got it! 1 second left. Clippers by 2.
The 3 for the tie. Oh my goodness. I don't believe